BC Winter Games, February 22nd to 25th. That is literally under a month away. Joining us to talk about it, we have Nikki Remus, president of the Games. Welcome back to the show, Nikki.
Thanks, Susan.
Yes, and Curtis Atkinson, the new TRU Director of Sport. Welcome to Midday.
Thank you so much.
Yes, let's start with the obvious. How are things going on the job? It's just been a couple of weeks so far.
Yeah, on the second week right now, it's fantastic. I love being on campus. I love the energy on campus. I love the people, and working in university sport and recreation is a pretty great job. Working for student athletes is pretty great.
Yes.
So I feel really fortunate to be there.
Good. So tell us about your history. Where do you come from?
Yeah, well, last year I've been working for Canada West Universities Athletic Association, so I'm really fortunate to have that job to continue working in university sport. Prior to that, I was at University of Regina for 9 years and worked in the athletic department there in a number of different roles. Again, really felt fortunate to work in that environment for student athletes, supporting kind of that growth and development of student athletes and helping them develop on their path to getting degrees and going on into their careers. So I've been very fortunate with my career.
Good, yes. Yeah. And you've been in Kamloops for a little bit. You've been working from home.
Yeah.
Now you've got the office, so you're sort of involving yourself more in the community. Yeah,
absolutely. The last year was a little bit different after working on a campus for 9 years, being in the office day to day, seeing the student athletes firsthand, working with people on issues. So moving into the home office for Canada West was a little bit different, but there's some real positives to that with our family life. But I was anxious to get back into the workplace, get back into the office, and engage with people, engage with student athletes.
Yes, and of course, sports has been a huge part of your life. You played hockey for the Brandon University, 1998 to 2001.
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, I always say to student athletes to really cherish that time, because when they look back 20 years later, that outside of maybe getting married and having kids, it's probably going to be one of the best times of their life. So I think it's really important to cherish that. Certainly, that was my experience as a student athlete. I loved the lessons I learned. I loved the people that I was around, and learning about time management with classes and your sport, learning how to be disciplined, attention to detail, all lessons that I learned then that I carry with me today. And so I really hope that our student athletes at the university cherish this time, still look back on it and really value it.
Did you have to keep your grades at a certain level to keep playing hockey?
Yeah, absolutely. We're all subject to U Sports playing regulations, so there are minimum standards. You have to pass a certain number of courses each year, and to be eligible for athletic scholarship money, you have to meet minimum standards as well. So it is an important part of being a student athlete.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you come on board at a poignant time. BC Winter Games, of course, beginning up February 22nd. TRU, a big supporter, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And I haven't been at TRU for very long, but it's very clear institutionally that this was an important event for us to be a part of. It's when you think about the BC Winter Games, it's one of the largest community events in our province that we see. It's all about promoting those opportunities for learning and development for young people. It's a lot of the life skills that we know come from sport, and that really aligned well with the university and the values that we have in terms of providing opportunities for learning, development, discipline, setting goals, and pursuing a passion and pursuing excellence. So that really lined up well with our value system.
Have I grilled you enough now?
Well, I'm enjoying it. So,
okay, good. Nikki, you must be thrilled to see Curtis coming on board, being a support. University, of course, their involvement is huge in making these games a success.
It really is. This is my first time actually meeting Curtis, so I was really happy to do that outside of some emails. Yeah, as far as a recruitment standpoint, facility, a place, just being able to host some events at TRU. So badminton is taking place in their gymnasium. We've got a couple of great dances for our athletes that are being hosted at TRU. We've got some really fun events that are also going on outside of that at TRU. So TRU is a phenomenal sponsor. But then, you know, I'm remiss if I don't mention the Broadcast Center too. So you and just everyone here at the Broadcast Center has been outstanding, and usually when I leave your segment, Earl's sitting waiting for me to quiz me about, okay, when are the athletes' names going to be released? And that should actually be any minute now.
Which is exciting.
Yes, and yeah, and you know, who can we spotlight, and you know, talking about our Ellie Terwell and coming on board. But TRU in itself has been wonderful as far as providing us sponsor, or not sponsors, but providing us volunteers, great volunteer pool, and great minds come out of TRU.
Yes.
Doing some research, and just some of the phenomenal people that we've met just recently. getting involved with, we've created new infrastructure in our, in the whole BC Games structure, and that's, included an inclusion chair.
Nice.
So that's really creating a new basis to reach out to, number one, prevent bullying, but also to create understanding for all people, so volunteers to sport, to everything, how we set it up, and that's even looking at the LGBTQ community.
Sure.
So creating a new arm in infrastructure for inclusion. And that is one of the single most exciting things I think that we're bringing to these games, that we will be able to offer that infrastructure to next communities that may not have the capacity that we have.
Absolutely.
So getting that ball started, we're not able to implement everything, but we're starting to create it.
Which is awesome, very exciting. Where are all the athletes staying when they're here? That's another question I have.
They're all in schools. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. School District 773, again, another fantastic sponsor. We put them up in schools, and then we have School District 73 is also loaning us all of their buses.
Lovely.
Yes, and so that's how we transport them with some extra coaches. And we couldn't do it without them. So we have some really great areas set up in the schools. And the other new thing that we're implementing is therapy dogs, which is
awesome.
It's so cool. I'm so excited about this piece. And so Kamloops Therapeutic Dogs, they're going into all of the schools and our opening ceremonies and just being there for the athletes to help them chill out and feel at home, especially if this is their first time away from home.
Absolutely, it's a big deal. We're out of time. I have to say, Curtis, thank you very much for being here. It's great to meet the new director of sport for the university. I'm sure the games will be a great positive experience for you, along with so many people in the community. Nikki, continued luck as things get closer.
Thanks.
It's not long now. Of course, I'd be remiss to not mention that volunteers are always needed. There's still a great need for many volunteers. If you'd like to get involved, bcgames.org. We're back after a quick break. Stay with us.